As we mentioned right off the top of the show, Robert Roberson is alive this morning after his execution was put on hold in Huntsville last night. Now, this morning, we are sorting through what is next. And Trevor Sahaki joins me live here in the studio. Trevor, this was honestly just a really stunning turn of events that really played out in the true hours leading up to that expected execution.
Very last minute, Madison. If you've been following the legal drama, it has been a roller coaster of a week for both Roberson and his supporters. Hours before he was set to die by lethal injection, Roberson's lawyers and state lawmakers filed a last-ditch effort civil appeal that ended up working. And the reason for all the attention on this case is because Roberson would have been the first in the U.S. to be executed in a case that involved shaken baby syndrome. Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter in 2002 in East Texas. So how did Roberson get to this point? Well, on Wednesday, the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles denied his clemency petition. Early Thursday, the U.S. Supreme Court refused to halt his execution, and Governor Greg Abbott did not grant a reprieve either. A bipartisan group of state legislators fighting for his life then issued a subpoena for Roberson to testify before a state House committee next week. This plan to buy time had never been tried before. In less than 2 hours before Roberson's scheduled execution, a judge in Austin sided with the lawmakers and paused the execution. But that was then reversed by an appeals panel. Finally, the Texas Supreme Court weighed in, putting off Roberson's execution.
This man has been held in prison on death row, and we're hoping that finally, with this ruling today, with the state and the Supreme Court's decision, that the Texas House will be able to help bring to light the truth in this case. We believe this to be an innocent man where the facts have not come out, and we're hoping this hearing will give that opportunity for the people of Texas to finally hear the facts here.
Now, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice said Roberson praised God and thanked his supporters after he heard he would not die yesterday. It said he would go back to the Pulaski unit where the state's male death row is located. Now, Ashley Moss is following this story from the assignment desk. Ashley, a lot has already happened with this case, and there's so much more to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, and just to give you guys an idea of how far this case has gone, Roberson's attorneys actually put a request in for a stay of execution all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. They denied that stay, but there was a dissent from Justice Sotomayor, you see this on your screen, saying that the court is powerless to act, and because the Texas Board of Pardon and Paroles declined to recommend clemency, there's only one remedy remains: an executive grant of a reprieve, delaying Roberson's execution by 30 days. And again, Governor Abbott is the person that can do that. So where do we go from here? If you remember, and you would have heard that there was a call for a subpoena at a hearing on Monday. That could happen here in Texas. It's scheduled for 12 p.m. at the Texas Capitol. It's an opportunity to examine junk science laws. Those are opportunities for prisoners who feel that they have been wrongly convicted to challenge forensic evidence that was used in their case. So there will also be a review of forensic evidence, and Roberson could be called to testify. We're waiting on additional details, and as always, we're going to bring any new information from the desk.